lots of plum trees.
So lazy, mate. Sorry.
What the fuck are you doing, dude? Oh my God. Comedy of errors, mate. What's going on? Good evening. Welcome to the Hex Late Show. Welcome to the Hex Late Show. As you can see, Unwrecked Pirate didn't do his homework. He didn't know which buttons to press. And there you have it. Welcome. How are we? How are we, mate? What's happening?
On the webs. Going good, mate. Welcome everyone out there. We're going to be talking about, it's a bit of a variety show, isn't it? Bit of odds and ends about cryptocurrency and a bit of education, bit of self-education, and I guess what are we talking about? It's called the Hex Late Show anyway, so we must be talking about Hex. We're on the Discourse Syndicate Network.
It's the Hex Late Show. So you're wondering, what do we talk about on the Hex Late Show? We talk about everything and anything, but it always ties back into Hex, doesn't it? And speaking of Hex, have you seen the price lately?
Oh, I haven't been wanting to look at it, to be honest with you. I did see it. It's been as low as I've seen it for probably a year or two. It's been, I don't know, when you probably have to go on the chart and have a look.
About a year.
About a year ago, it was like this. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I've been buying. I don't know about you. And that's not financial advice to anyone. Do whatever you want to do. I've been buying because it's been like a year. It like hit these highs of like above, in the 50s, 50 cents, 52, 54, 56, whatever it was. And now it's like a tenth of that. Now, historically in crypto, right? That is like things can go as low as 95. Sometimes they keep going down to 99. They go down forever.
I've been hearing all that. It hasn't.
Yeah. And that's
like
it's the fear. It's the fight. And you know what? We should bring Tangent up because he's been through cycles.
Yep.
He's been here before. This is like my second dip.
It's your second rodeo. Dip. My first rodeo.
This is my second dip. Like my crypto existence was forged in the fire of the bear market in the 2018 bear market. So that's how I came to crypto.
Let's have a look at the chat.
But Tangent, what's going on? We were just talking.
Someone just burnt me pretty hard in the chat. I like it. That's hilarious.
Really? Let's have a look.
Tangent goes through monthly cycles.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Who said that?
That is an epic burn. That is an epic burn. Holy shit. Yeah. So I guess it all comes back to, do you have conviction in what you're holding? So if you have conviction in what you're holding, then everything becomes a lot easier because you have this, obviously nothing's 100% in this world, but you have a strong belief that unless something very unlikely happens, like that the probability of something going wrong to a drastic scale, i.e. to zero, is so low that you don't mind holding through dips, even when they're extended. And then obviously that has to be assessed in conjunction of how much money you need and what your stack is doing and whether you're relying on that stack to fund any part of your lifestyle that's critical. But if you started off with the whole never using the money that's critical to your standard of living or to your critical living, like your survival, then that shouldn't come into play. So that's a separate issue. That's a separate mitigation strategy that should have been taken into account early. So
hey, could I ask, Tangent, are you like, I don't want to delve into what you're doing, but I assume you're buying dips, man. I mean, I'm buying.
Yeah. You know, man, so I wish I had actually been tweeting out more often what I was actually doing, because for probably the first time ever, I have absolutely been nailing And I think it's just because I don't give a shit. I've got a very low care factor of whether the trades go well or not. So I've been buying dips and selling rallies and just absolutely nailing it. And also the other thing is,
it's a good idea though to post that, because then do you know what, that you run the risk of this, right? And you don't want this, by the way. You run the risk of people like just following what you're doing, but unlike you, who there's like very little care factor what happens, like how it turns out with those particular trades, because it's not going to affect your living. So there will be people who see what you're doing and then follow it, but put in
that's a really good point, particularly if you get it right a few times in a row and people start assigning you god status, they're like, this guy never gets it wrong, he's every trade he does is right, and then the next one they go in is probably the one that's going to get wrecked. By
the way, that doesn't happen. No one's ever.
That's a good point.
All right.
That's a very good point. I might do it in a way where it's more like, maybe say if I buy a dip, shortly afterwards, maybe say, I bought, say for example, I bought at 5 cents, which was a local dip, like a local low recently. And so I could have just been like, bought more HEX at 5 cents. And then, but like you need to do it closely enough afterwards so that there's no, like, so it doesn't look like you're just saying it because it went up. Like it needs to be when there's still uncertainty about which direction it's going to go in. So that then, you know what I mean? So that there's actually a risk to your status. So yeah, but it's all good. Like, as in, obviously I've been vocal in how not thrilled I am about the HEX price. And I've also been vocal about how I think that everyone who is running these narratives, they're just cope narratives to me. Like the whole, like, I actually want it to go down. Like I want it to go down so my friends and I can like buy more. I think it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So
I just want to put something up, guys, boys and girls.
Yeah, do it.
We can talk over the top of it. It's just that none of this video is financial advice. These are opinions expressed for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research and professional assistance from credible advisors in your jurisdiction and by viols. So, and there's dozen laws and bits and pieces that we need to navigate as well.
And the other thing is, we're just a few guys on the internet. Like we're just some dudes who are just talking about some shit. Don't like put any don't put too much faith in what we're saying. We're just like doing it on a Tuesday night, hey. So
Tuesday night in Australia.
Tuesday night in Australia.
Yeah, we're on Discourse. We're beaming around the world, and wonders of modern.
And shout out to the people in the chat, by the way. Big shout out to the people in the chat.
It wouldn't be
you guys are awesome.
the HEX Late Show
we love your comments.
Tangent
loves your burns.
The chat's already going nuts.
Look at that. They're all stuff all going off on here. What's this? West is the best coast. You'd agree.
You guys doing the dual stream at the moment? You want to tell everyone about how?
Oh yeah, so just because like if you're having a hard enough time suffering me on one channel, we're on about 10. We're on Twitch. We're on bloody HEX Late Show. We're on Discourse Syndicate, and we're on what else? We're on whatever the other. I could tell you what they are actually. They're up here.
There's actually
we're still on D-Live. We're D-Live.
Unwrecked. There's actually the HEX Late Show YouTube channel. So we're currently streaming on Discourse Syndicate, but we're also streaming on the HEX Late Show YouTube channel, and would love it if you guys would also go and subscribe to that. Search it and go subscribe to that channel, just because we don't have many people subscribe there. And if for whatever reason, it is possible that, sometimes YouTube do things like shut down channels and it would be nice if those, you guys could still come and check us out if that ever happened. I hope it doesn't, by the way.
I'm going to throw the link up and get our people across there. And so what are we talking about tonight, Ivan?
I think it's worth people subbing to that other channel. I think it's worth people subbing to that other channel because we might do other creative shit Day 43 and I have been bouncing ideas around for other stuff as well. So
and just what you're saying before about I don't know, I don't follow too closely. I try to avoid putting my computer on.
And I've been bouncing ideas around for.
See, I've been trying to avoid all the noise and mischief and whatnot.
Smart man. That's wise.
You've got to be tolerant of others and strict with yourself. I mean, these aren't things to do with crypto. These is to do with life. Just I don't know. Just
Unrex, you have been dropping bombs, man. You've been dropping absolute bombs. That is some deep shit. That's some real shit, and that's 2 for 2. Last stream you said some shit. Also, very.
I felt like, because I felt like going two barrels into a few things over there. But then when I sort of like walked away and had to think about it, come back and I'm like, well, how's that helping anything? It is what I mean. Well, you know that when you hit the green button, the price you print a candle, and when you press the red button, you print a red candle and market. So it's outside of your control. Just worry about your sphere of influence, sphere of control, not about the environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I want the exact wording of that quote. What was it? Be tolerant with others and something with yourself.
Strict with yourself.
Strict. Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Give yourself a.
Hey,
well, you should give yourself an argument. You should give yourself
I'm not sure if you guys.
I stuffed up the start again.
I'm not sure if you guys remember the last time just us three were streaming together. It was actually the first time we ever streamed together. And it was when you came onto the Hex Late Show for the first time. And I believe that was after Big Payday. So it was like
no, it would have been really no. I know it was a big deal getting tangent across because I mean,
it was 2020. It was 2020. Like I think it was November, December.
I'm pretty sure it was,
and it was like around that time. The reason I remember that is because it was hot and I was like, I had like all the kids were home, so I had to go to the car and like stream from the car. And I
think I remember that.
Yeah. And we were talking on that stream, and this is something I've been meaning to address, because on that stream, I was actually saying that I thought in the bear market that Hex was just going to pump really, really hard. Like
or at a minimum, stay flat while everything else was just free falling through the sky.
Yeah. So
sideways
prediction. So I'm gonna hang on to one last little thread of hope that if
I'm with you,
if by chance like BTC takes another leg down like real hard, like just like capitulation, another 50% down from where it is now. If that was to happen, we pump. Right, so that's my last little thread of hope. Otherwise, I'm going to say it openly. I was completely wrong about that. Completely wrong about that, and that's why you shouldn't listen to us. Right, that's why you shouldn't listen to us. I was saying, wouldn't it be cool if this is what happened with Hex? But you were actually like, at the time, Tangent. You were saying. You were like, because I'm like, yeah, it's like this new paradigm. And you were like, at the time, you were like, bro, ain't no fucking new paradigm.
This time is different is the most dangerous saying in all of investing.
So that just goes.
But I was also hopeful of
your experience. I just want that goes to show your experience in the space, because you've been in this space for a long time. You've been around the block. And that was probably a bit of hopium on my part.
I think.
Having said that, like, I still hang on to that thread of hope.
We got a super chat. Hey, look at that! Isn't that wonderful? Someone in the dark times. Here we are. $5 US dollars to the Discourse Syndicate Network. I came into Hex last April. What's happening now with delays and FUD with everyone experience at the start of Hex, it's like when history repeats. I don't know. It feels a bit. This one seems to be. This one's really. I mean, I've got to admit, I've been trying not to have feelings for my portfolio. You can't not. You can't not.
Yeah.
Feel it. Well, I mean, it's just, but again, it's all just on paper stuff anyway. Like if you don't let it show, don't let it hurt you. It won't hurt you because like if you're not selling or if you're holding or if you're staked, what are you going to do anyway? Like that's it. I mean, there's many ways.
I'm just dollar cost averaging, man. For me, it's just dollar cost averaging on the way down. I've got points that if it hits that point, I buy a little bit more. If it goes down further, I buy a little bit more. And it's not nailing the bottom. Like I'm not nailing clearly if you can nail the bottom.
You're just expecting that at some point it's going to turn around and all those buys are going to be profitable.
And 100%, if you are able to nail the bottom with your full stack, that is the best possible thing. But that is so hard to do. And it's also risky because if you could possibly totally miss out, it could just pump up. You're waiting for it to go down further. And then you just totally I'll give you an example.
Oh, wait.
Last bear market.
You go.
Real quick. Last bear market, I was listening to, was it Tyler Jenkins? Tyler, what was his name? The guy who died. Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler. I think it was Tyler Jenkins. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was doing streams with Tone Vays and they were like, it's going down, Bitcoin's going down to $1,000. Bitcoin's going down.
They were using hyperwave and they thought it was going to go to a G. It never went there.
But I was listening to them, right? I was listening to them. I'm like, okay, so I had a stack like ready for that 1K BTC and it never happened. It never happened.
Yeah. To defend Tone a little bit, when I said they said, it was more Leah Wald, Tyler Jenkins, and that other guy who was also on that hyperwave vibe, who helped them write the book about it, that was saying 1K. Tone Vays is not a dumbass. He only ever assigns probabilities. And so I think he had a very low probability of it going under 3K, like extremely low, but he accepted that it might. And then at some point, I think when we went above 20K, that theory got invalidated. Because the seventh wave of the hyperwave or whatever gets invalidated if it goes back above your previous all-time high. So that theory got wiped. And I mean, he wasn't alive to see how wrong he was. But this is something that people say in crypto, which is very important, is if you're waiting for one specific level, and this is what you're basically saying, is that if you think you're going to time the bottom perfectly, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get reverse wrecked. You're either going to miss the buy because it's not going to get to your level, or it'll just get to your level and then just keep going past. So DCA is awesome. I love DCA. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. I still use it. Hey, Sammy.
What's that? What are you doing?
Time for the comment of the night.
We're DCAing, Sammy. We're DCAing. I've been in crypto since 2012 and I still use DCA. I think it's an amazing feature and tool.
Alan, put it away, son. Put it away.
Hey,
people away.
Wait, before we get too far away,
how are we going with the? Can we get any closer to the big dog, or is he too busy and important for a little old ship out in the ocean?
I was about to say a prayer to him. I was about to say, "Dear Lord Richard, up in heaven with all your Gucci and Lambos and Playboy models, please spare a moment and a thought for the decorrelation of HEX and the fucking pump that we need to get this thing back on track."
Oh, he keeps bragging about he's got an easy 4x in his back pocket, but I think he's just I don't know what's going on there.
I'm yet to see it.
I'm not the sort of bloke.
I'm yet to see it.
Looky. I'm not that sort of bloke. Hey, tangent, just to book in what you're saying about. I honestly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that Tone Vays Richard Hart video. So I mean, and I know Tone Vays copped a lot of flack from the Hexagons, and that, like as I said, that video had penetration at the time. I was looking for a port, and there was port in the storm, and just happened to be Richard Hart, and he taught me about crypto. And,
you guys, like a lot of people in the Hex community don't like tone vays, and that's an assessment that I'm making broadly, just anecdotally. But I have met him in person, and from everything that I've seen of him in person and online, he has ethics. So he might not be correct about his position,
that's really
but he has ethics. And part of that, like the proof of that, is he has a high enough follower count that he could start a shitcoin and try and make money out of it. But he would never do that because he believes that everything is a scam other than Bitcoin. And just some of the things we were talking about in person, I was like, this guy has got a very direct ethical stance, like as in the thought to do something wrong just does not enter his head. It's quite incredible.
Yeah. Well, none of us have a crystal ball, and about you know, if the game of Bitcoin was to get more Bitcoin and try to like swing trade the highs and lows just like you would in a traditional stock market, except you've got the 24/7 aspect of what crypto is.
Yeah.
And you know,
before we get too far away from it, I just wanted to say that comment you made before day 43 about the whole this time's different and markets doing things that surprise you and that sort of thing. The strongest lesson that I ever had of that was in 2017 or early 2018 when that particular cycle bubble had popped and everything was going down. I was like, F all the TA, F all the on-chain, F all the like hype, F all the sentiment. I just have this one thought in my head that there's at least 21 million people who know about Bitcoin and love it and want it. And if every single one of those people just wanted to have one, then assuming there's one more person after that, the price goes literally to infinity, right? Now that it doesn't even account for the fact that not all of them have been mined yet. So it's actually less than 21 million in terms of circulating supply, and a shitload have been lost, like an absolute metric F load have been lost. So I just had this idea in my head where I was like, this can't go down. Like this can't go down. It can only go up.
How many?
Oh, there's obviously we'll never know for sure because you look at the HODL waves and see how many have moved.
6 mil have been 5 or 6 mil. They think have been lost.
They've got estimate. They've got solid estimates based on coins not moving and just other But
so technically that inflation rate, right? The inflation rate wherever
is
it's
higher
at,
is higher.
Is actually higher
if
you're gonna like if it's gonna be.
It's this loose definition of circulating supply that Richard has always pointed towards, that you need a definition of what you're counting as circulating. If Satoshi's coins haven't moved since the very, very, very start, is that circulating? Is his point, and it's true. But obviously, it's just too complicated to try and pin down a strict definition when every project is so different. So you would go to the effort of creating this definition that works for Bitcoin and other similar proof of work networks, and then you have this other thing where you're like, oh well, that doesn't work. So then it kind of means there's not really any point. If it's not going to be a metric that you can use to actually adequately compare across crypto assets, then what's the point of even adequately defining it? So I got into that. I drank my own Kool-Aid of like having one Bitcoin. If you're a diehard I'm like, I see enough diehard Bitcoiners on Twitter that if every single one of those mofos had just wanted one or more Bitcoin themselves, then the price is going to infinity. Like there's that many people. So it didn't make sense to me. So I'm like, well, either these mofos are pretenders and they're out there screaming about how much they love Bitcoin and how it's going to change the world, but they don't even own a full Bitcoin, or there's some kind of manipulation, or I'm doing the math wrong. Like there's got to be some reason why that mental model just got absolutely effed all the way down to $3,000 in 2018.
I reckon there'd be heaps of them hiding that don't have one Bitcoin. How many bitcoins have been mined so far?
Okay.
Out of 21
I think it's in the
million.
19. I think it's in 19 mil roughly. Like,
But it gets harder and harder to mine, doesn't it? Because it's more electricity and of course the
yeah,
halving.
you're right. The
Yeah.
competition for hash rate, the hash rate competition, and the halving makes it. Yeah.
But that can fluctuate though. It doesn't necessarily have to
Yeah.
always be harder. I mean, when China turned off all their mining, it actually got easier to mine for a bit of time.
So this is the thing that makes me laugh, right? So people come up with these FUD narratives, and I say to them, well, that's not the case because of this reason, and also we have historical precedent of this happening, and it was fine. And then they still are like, no, that's a problem. I'm like, what? I'm giving you actual real world examples that really happened. How is that like? So the China one's perfect. The China banning Bitcoin, that solved two narratives.
Hey!
There was the
Hi guys.
Yo, JFK, what's
How
up?
are you? Oh,
I'm here.
Oops, I just rugby.
You get something's going on with your mic.
Oh yeah, someone's got echo. By the way, let's get back on. Let's back on to talking about HEX, since this is not the Bitcoin show. This is the HEX show.
Echo.
And
Oh, did you read that comment that like Brizology just put up? Like RG3 is going to come on here and crack heads for talking about.
oh no, I didn't see that comment. I honestly
What are you
just thought it
talking
myself.
about?
I just honestly thought about it myself. No, but typically
Hey,
when
he
we
might
do talk about
come
Bitcoin,
on and give us shit, but he's not going to crack heads. Come on, man.
typically
not
when we
trying to-
do
he's not
talk
trying to
about
censor us.
Bitcoin, we're trying to use it as a I guess as an analogy, or like as an example or a case study for HEX. Really, you know what I mean? Like, as in these are lessons learnt and other aspects of the oldest coin that we can then apply those lessons and those mental models to HEX as well.
Yeah.
What's going
How
on,
are
JFK?
you, JFK?
You're muted.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Unwrecked. There we go. Is my mic okay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just muted it because there was dramas. As Unwrecked unmuted me. How are we all?
Good. How are you?
Very cold. It's bloody freezing up here.
And everywhere is
cold.
freezing.
Oh, we've got that echo back.
Yeah.
Are you on a phone, JFK?
No, I'm on my computer.
Are you using Restream?
Yes, I am.
There's a setting that is like echo suppression. So if you go into settings and go to your audio, under the audio output,
Got it.
there's echo cancellation and noise suppression. Turn them
Is
on.
that better?
That's much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry guys. I'm just doing it to make Unwrecked feel better.
So what's been happening, JFK? How's retirement going, bro?
Yeah, good. Getting lots done. Just getting fitter, getting healthier, getting warmer.
Yeah. Is it that cold up there? I have heard it's cold everywhere, all over Australia at the moment.
Yeah, but we're soft up here a bit, Sammy. We're not like hard like you down there. I'm in a old Queenslander, which is just like
What happened to beautiful one day Percy the
I'm as
next
hard as
guys?
nails, mate. I don't even shave in the morning. I'd just get a hammer and smash them in and chew them off inside. Soft up here, mate. Come on, look at these guns,
You're
mate.
looking fantastic. You're looking fantastic, mate, with the tie and the button-up vest.
Very nice.
Mate, you look like $1 million.
He's even got a pocket square.
You should see what I got underneath.
We've
I
seen
don't
that
wanna
before on
know.
stream, mate. We don't need to see that
I'm
again.
covering my eyes right now.
Yeah, is that worth $1 million?
It's just a keyboard. Look, everyone, it's nothing to see here. A keyboard.
What costs $1 million?
I just said he's looking $1 million.
Oh.
That's what it costs if you want me to come and speak at your venue and talk about the currency. And if you buy me But the thing is, right, the business model is that the safety requirements are that you have to be, it's mainly for women and have to wear a bikini.
And they're going to need a safe word as well, aren't they, Unwrecked?
There's a safe word. Yeah, well, something like that.
There will be safe words.
Obviously, sorry to detract from the presentation we're having over here.
Unwrecked.
Hey,
You're
what's
talking
that,
about
mate?
$6 million for what's down there, and you know how
No.
rich
No,
hang on, wait.
Mr. 43 here paid me a nice compliment, and then I just wrecked it by trying to shield something.
I just want to ask a question. Mate, I just want to ask a question. If Richard Hart compares his private parts to a certain soft drink can, and you hold up the keyboard, is that like making a statement about your size? Or
Yeah, there's a bit of lag there, but no, can you see that? No.
Has Richard ever done a $1 million outfit? It wouldn't be hard, including one of those watches that he's got. He could just rock like a freaking 800 grand watch and then just have 200 grand worth of clothes. Actually,
some of those
spending 200K on clothes would be nearly impossible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No. He could do it with one
on an outfit. No. Actually, easy. Yo. There are sneakers that are priceless, so you could just literally, with between the watch and his kicks, he could rock a mill. But I reckon he should do it. I reckon he should do like a 1 million.
You can put diamonds into anything.
I think that's cheating. Like if you were to just go and put diamonds into clothes that weren't actually from the factory with them.
So the outfit, hang on, if you're counting the watch as that's like jewelry, then anything that's
okay. They're not including the watch. I guess you'd have to use kicks then. Your shoes would have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And then he could, the only reason I'm thinking of this is looking $1 million. He could do that and then have a tweet that says, I'm looking $1 million. Literally $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could do it.
I have a question for all of you.
Yeah.
Did anyone see the happy hour on Cabana's channel?
No, but I heard about
I missed it.
I heard the highlights.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Fishy.
No, did you see JFK?
Gunter and
I heard about it. Yeah.
Look, I think it's important to see. You have to see to comment on it, right?
See it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, I saw it. The whole thing.
Comment on it if you didn't watch it.
Cabana heard about it. He's in the comments.
Thing.
He said he heard
It's
about
Cabana's show, Sammy. We're talking about.
I know. I'm joking.
What was your comment?
No, hang on. No, because I at one point I was just observing it, and I could see Cabana was just like, I'm just not going to comment on what's going on right now. He was just like, I'm going to be a host here. I'm not throwing my
Can you give us a narrative? Can you tell us where we go? We'll go and have a look at that because I did hear about it. And,
I'll tell you what I think. All right, hang on. Does anyone want to know what I think?
Yeah, I do.
Definitely want to know what happened.
Unrex's quote of be tolerant of others and strict on yourself. So with that in mind,
that's a Marcus Aurelius quote, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I don't make this stuff up. Sometimes I do, but I go ahead. I have a guide.
Well, what was your take? 43.
43.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll give you the short story of what basically Gunther went on to the stream, and he was talking about Pulse Doge, but he was also started talking about Steph from Staker, and he was basically saying that Steph from Staker was dumping the price or doing all this sorts of stuff. I don't actually like repeating it, right? I don't like repeating it.
Don't go into details because we're looking at forensic blockchain.
Right? Yeah, don't repeat allegations.
No, but basically that was the whole thing. So Steph was in the chat, right? So Steph said like he just said, okay, I can't, like, I got to come on. Like you're like trashing me too hard, dude. Like I've got to come on and like defend myself.
Get in the ring,
Defend my honor.
So he came. He came on, and guys, look, don't just take what I'm saying. Like, go and watch it. Go watch Cabana's stream. It's like,
make sure you subscribe if you're not already to Cabana's channel.
In my opinion, Cabana's stream is the like weekly.
It's one of the best.
It's like the best weekly show. I love it. It's like my favorite.
Is that still on Saturday morning?
It's Saturday morning for us.
Sorry,
like a
Yeah.
lazy
Still Saturday morning? Yep.
Just like watch the stream.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I
getting back to
that.
what happened.
It's been a while.
So basically, Steph came on and said, look, you know, he basically denied what Gunther was saying, and he's and I guess the thing was that he was saying, well, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? And I think that's where we're at, you know, with it. And I guess my opinion on this is, you know, if you, and I'm not going to trash Gunther, I'm not going to trash anyone, right? But I honestly think that it sort of doesn't really do like the community any good.
Doesn't help the community.
Like, it doesn't really do anything good at all. Like, I mean, if sales did happen, they happen, and saying that stuff isn't going to make any difference. But in the absence of evidence being provided, it's sort of like bordering on unethical, in my opinion, because you need to. If you're going to say
who's unethical?
Hard, like you need to come with some hard, detailed evidence, and you need to provide the evidence, not say, oh well, here's the address, go work it out. It's like, no, dude.
Yeah.
Not like it's not. You need to demonstrate. You need to demonstrate.
Especially if you're going
CoffeeZilla shit. You got to do CoffeeZilla shit.
Yeah, you have to go
when
into
you go
detail.
into someone's character, someone who's been in the community since the start, who's actually developed websites to help with the metrics and would know what's going on at that level.
And I don't know, but look, one thing I also believe, I have to say, one thing I truly believe, I've got no problem saying it, is that if people want to sell, they're allowed to sell.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
If anyone wants to have a whinge about what I do with mine, my bad, go fuck yourself.
Shit where you can lock down people's. Do we want
seriously? Fucking the only one who cares about your back pocket is you. If you care about what I'm doing with my fucking crypto, go fuck yourself.
That's 43. I know you were.
That's the point of crypto. That's the point of crypto. That's the point of crypto, is that other people can't tell you what to do with it. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Enough bullshit laws and things that are going on. We are 43 drop out. Well, there's enough of a minefield out there to take without, you know, all these people going around cork sniffing everyone else's wallet. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I just don't have an interest in it.
So was that the only accusation that he was selling?
I don't know. Oh, well,
I haven't seen it.
Clearly,
none of us have seen it. And
that's why the price is down at the moment, but not because of any individual. It's I mean, I get why you would do it, because you want to garnish some intel or insight onto what you're trying to do, because you're trying to get a position or whatever your game is. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, there's reasons for having that blockchain analysis and having the chain analysis and things like that. But to come out and say who's who in the zoo and doxing everyone else, I mean, doxing your bags or whatever, I don't know. I mean, it's just theatre. It's not gonna do any good for it. I just don't see any good to come from that. I'll be like,
yeah. So is Gunter behind Pulse Dogecoin?
He's not strictly a team member, but he's a whale. Like, as in, that's his own words. He claims to be a whale, and that he's in some consortium with other whales, and I think they also speak to the team, but he's not strictly a team member, I don't think.
Oh, cool.
That's, I mean, I'm not. Is your implication that obviously you have to consider people's agenda, right? So like, I'm not saying that you draw conclusions and you're like, the reason this person is doing this is because of this, but you just should consider people's agenda, potential agenda, and their potential biases. So, you know, there's examples of that going all the way up to Richard, like in terms of when you assess like what they're saying and what they're doing. So,
nah, I don't agree. I agree with Unrect.
All right,
if you can't, I mean, it's whatever. If he's a whale in Pulse, or if he's a whale in Hex, he's got every right to sell all that shit if he wants.
Not Pulse Doge.
Not Pulse Doge, sorry. But whatever. I mean, the point is, whatever he's got is his. He doesn't have to seek approval. I mean, yeah, you might get some copper.
No, so this is JFK. This is subtly different. This is so this potentially, like, so allegedly could be classed as like saying things that are dishonest to manipulate people into behaving a certain way. So that's not just you privately going about your business, buying and selling crypto, and then having someone dox your shit. Like, so we're talking about two different things here. Yes, you should be allowed to do whatever you want with your crypto, but if you're coming out publicly and shit talking people with potentially with an agenda, and especially if that information is untrue, then it's no longer like, oh, I can just do what I want with my crypto, because you're not doing that with your crypto. You're doing that shit with people's opinions of projects and their opinions of humans.
So you're being an attention whore.
Well, it's just different. Like, as in, it doesn't come under the same protection as what Unrect was saying.
No, I agree. But the person who's I understand. Thank you.
What, from an ethical perspective, you're saying?
Yeah, from an ethical perspective, yes.
Yeah, because clearly you can just still with holding your own keys, you can still do whatever you want.
Exactly.
I guess, I mean, I learnt my lesson in the bull run in the bear 2018 bear run of not listening to people in general and just making up my own sort of, you know, just not putting
the problem is, you know, remember previously I've said there's always that new cohort of noobs that actually gets larger and larger in absolute terms, not necessarily in percentage terms, that are going to get taken for a ride by people who are saying things that are incorrect, dishonest, deliberately manipulative, those sorts of things. So while we might not be impacted by it directly, if noobs are impacted by it, then we indirectly cop it from the actions that they then take under false pretenses. Hey, Blue Bum, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? All right?
Good, mate. How are you?
Excellent. Sorry I'm a bit late. Woke up a
no
bit
stress.
Late. Yeah. What's up? What have you been talking about?
Noobs and DCA.
Yeah. Right.
You know, the tangent, I'll say something about that too. For the noobs, any noobs who might be listening who are thinking, oh, it's so painful now. I'm sure Day 43, Unrect, Bluey and yourself will agree with this, that if you've actually been through a few cycles, bear markets are what you hunt for. Because bear markets are when you can fill your bags like you can't on the way up, or certainly at the top. You're getting so much more for your money. And that's where bear markets are where you actually take the opportunity and make the money, because you can get so much more for your dollar.
And you do it in the knowledge that there's been an all-time, like there's been this high. So you're doing it. It's hard because you're doing it with like the knowledge that the price has just been sliding down. So that feels shit. That feels terrible, right? But at the same time, you have the knowledge that it's been up here before. On the way up, you don't have that knowledge that it's been to that. You don't have that all-time high yet. So in the bear market, it's like, okay, we all know that Hex has been in the 50s, right? 50 cents, 56 cents, whatever it was. And now at 5 cents, we're like, hey, it could go back up there at some stage, yeah? I mean, that's what I was thinking when I was buying BTC at like, you know, $5,000, $4,000, $5,000,
sure.
$6,000.
But the point is that all this angst and all this pain and all the wailing and gnashing of teeth, if you've been through a couple of cycles, you learn to look at things differently. And I mean, maybe you can't tell that to people, but I'm trying.
Well, look, the point I was wanting to make before about bringing up the Cabana's show on just want to quickly tie a bow around that, was that it's sort of it distracts us. That sort of stuff is just distracting us, because we want to be distracted at this time in the market. Like, we want something to distract us, but it's not actually in any way productive. It doesn't achieve anything. And, I just don't see what the benefit is.
That's an interesting point. Anything but the price chart.
Yeah. Although I've had to wake up in the middle of the night one time to buy a dip. I have to say that. So.
Hey, Bluey, how are ya?
Yeah, good, Sammy. How you going?
Good, mate. Where are you?
In Colombia.
Nice. That's daytime there.
In morning, yeah.
Oh, cool. At least it's not overnight like usual. Awesome. Yeah, I was going to say, Twitter's been really quiet. Telegram's been really quiet. So people are getting out and doing more things. And, I'm happy to be in HEX earning interest in the bear market. We're in the best place we can be, really.
Richard's had some pretty good engagement on Twitter. He's been...
Yeah, noticed that. I noticed that, yep.
It's been working what he's doing.
Not for the price, though.
Yeah, give it time.
That is true. Maybe it will work in future.
Well, think about this, guys. We've got the documentary coming. We've got PulseChain coming. Like, they're big things to happen that are close to HEX. So, it's not going to be a boring bear market for the next 12 months. There's things going to happen. So, it's not going to be boring.
HEX has shown before, Sammy, hey, that Bitcoin can be going down, and when it crashed in COVID is when HEX last ripped.
Yeah.
So,
it's not the same.
The other thing, I mean, there's that video that when Richard was talking about launching HEX, that he wanted to do that in the bottom of a bear market. Now, I sort of have my suspicions maybe he's just trying to time this too.
Bro, Orca had literally the best tweet, and I've just been retweeting on every single person who says anything like that on crypto Twitter. It's hilarious, and I don't want to butcher it, but it's the basic sentiment is, let's all rely on one man's ability to time a market in the most uncertain macroeconomic environment that we've ever had in all of human history.
Except that man has the ability.
The other thing is that Richard has stated that he would not delay the launch for any reason. So I don't see why people are making these narratives that he's like waiting for some special moment, whether it's like a sentimental date or like a specific part of the site, because you just don't know how. So he could be waiting for this bottom and then it can just go lower. It doesn't make any sense. So I've been actively trying to kill that narrative because I don't think there's any solid backing to it.
Well, all cryptos are going down. So that's the whole market. It's a bear market, right? And historically, we don't see another all-time high in Bitcoin until about a year and a half after the halvening, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2024.
That's the halving. The beginning of 2024 is the halving. Then you don't see an all-time high in Bitcoin for a year and a half after the halvening. That's what usually happens. So we're still a long way away from a Bitcoin all-time high. But HEX and Pulse are different. They're in their own ecosystem. And, things like the documentary and PulseChain coming out are good things for our ecosystem. And, yeah, we are all...
Well, you know what? You know what pumped last time when Bitcoin was in a bear? It was BNB. That was the big kind of like pumper, a layer one. So that's kind of like an interesting sign. Like,
Yeah.
New layer 1 can definitely pump during a Bitcoin bear.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's done very well. I remember seeing it at $30, like not long before it just went ape shit.
Can I just want to talk about this comment from Crypto is Amazing. His message is, the message he wrote is, the whole scenario UOG hexagons are laughing over now is not funny for those you onboarded.
What were we laughing about? I wasn't laughing.
You should see all his comments.
Yeah, I
They're
don't
all
think any of us are
degrading.
laughing. We're all like we're all suffering together here. Like I don't think we're buying dips, but we're all suffering together. And it's like there's no maliciousness on our part. This is crypto, man. If you onboard people and don't let them know that there's volatility in crypto, well, I think that's a mistake when you're onboarding people. That needs to be like the number one thing you tell people. You need to inoculate them against this surprise of crypto dropping and them just not knowing shit about that and being like devastated. People need to know that crypto is fucking volatile. It is fucking volatile. Just look at the charts. Look at
if anything, we've been preaching long-term staking.
Yeah. So
we haven't been saying you're going to get rich, get it now, and within a year you're going to be, sorted.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember any of us ever saying, this is not just defensive, but I don't remember any of us ever saying that we think it is a good time to buy up when it was at all-time high. But we were saying things like your stack will get double in terms of you'll get the mirrored hex on the new chain. So hex would be a reasonable ERC20 to hold at the fork. So
meanwhile, if you sacrificed at 15 cents for Pulse or 18 cents for Pulse when that happened, it was around that 15 to 18 cent mark in the first few days, and then PulseX was like 30 to 35 cents in the first few days. Those sacrifices are looking pretty damn good in the context of the hex price right now and the bear market, right? So
Tintop just made a really important comment that it's not just hex, it's literally everything.
And we just said that the whole market's down. But this guy's a concern troll. If you scroll back and look at all his comments, they're just degrading towards hex and the Richard Hart ecosystem. There's a whole heap of them here. And that's what Brisley said. He's a concern troll and he'll get timed out if he keeps going.
People can be upset if they bought the top. Hey, I was upset that I bought the top in 2017, 18, hey? So people can be upset. He's saying that the people that you onboard, like now, like, are wrecked. It's like, dude, if you onboarded people and told them to short-term trade hex when it was at all-time highs, then you're not doing a very good job onboarding. Like that is not the way to onboard people into crypto. Like short-term trade at all-time highs, not the way to do it.
Well, if you
can I ask everyone a question here? Who has like, are we all short-term thinkers in hex? Who's got like 5 stakes, like stakes for fucking 15 years? Put up your hand if you've got 15-year stakes.
I imagine that. I know that Unwrecked would be putting up his hand if his internet.
Unwrecked, listen, let me tell you, Unwrecked had a 5 stake in the first week of hex when it launched.
Yeah.
He's one of the first people to actually do a 5 stake. So that's 6 people on stream who are long-term thinkers about hex. So, you need to do a good job on board. It's hard to onboard people, but you absolutely need to, tell them that it's a longer term thing and not a short term trading deal. That's not what, not just hex, but like crypto in general. It's not, you can't be thinking short term. I'll tell you an example. I have a cousin overseas who wanted to get into crypto. It was close to the all-time high. They wanted Bitcoin, and they said they just wanted to like hold it for a year, sell it, make some money, and leave. And I just said to them, "Look, I think you should chill, right? I think you should chill out, just because I think that
the short flip is the most dangerous.
Is the perfect way to get wrecked. That's how you're going to get wrecked." and I said to them, when you think you can make like a 5-year investment in crypto, like come and speak to me.
Yeah,
I
and
think
day
you need to be
43 for
thinking
anyone who
long-term.
did buy the top, that's all they have to do.
Yeah.
More with a very great probability is just hang in there.
Yeah.
Because, and yeah, like many people say, just delete your staker for a couple of months. Don't look at that. Just to get it.
Good
You know,
idea.
If you don't have the guts for it, well, you know, ignorance is bliss.
I didn't delete it. I just stopped opening it up.
Same.
Bro, I'm looking at it more than ever.
Yeah, me
Trying to
too.
buy those dips, dude.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I just see opportunity. Fuck. Like, I see opportunity, man.
I see opportunity. There's 2 day 43s on stream.
Hey,
What's that?
You just did a PulseChain with day 43 unrex, a day 43 OG as well.
oh, that's sorry. It's not my internet, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It is this computer. You may remember I got my computer stolen, and I had to replace it really quickly. And this is just a cheap bashy that I'm using for the stream. I'm sorry. I'll as soon as I can address the technical faults I'm having. But yeah, just dropping out, and I'll have to change my name back to. Well, otherwise, I've got to work up to day 43 standard, mate.
Yeah. Did any of you guys actually see the intro? Did you see the
No.
intro?
Oh yeah, I've
It was
pulled it up.
Of this stream?
Yeah.
Bitch tits.
Comedy. It was a
I missed
comedy
it.
of errors by Unwrecked. He like played every single intro, like every single video apart from the intro video.
It's been a while since I've
like-
been on levers, mate.
He put me up first. I started talking. He cut me off, and then he put me back on, and then he's doing other videos. It's like, bro, you need to do some rehearsal, man. You need to do some rehearsal. But I wanted to bring up something. That I mentioned in one of our chats earlier today, which I think is awesome. There's and by the way, I haven't used this yet. I haven't looked at the contracts. I haven't like read the audits. I'm just going to mention it though, and I believe it's by the people who did Matcher.xyz. It's called Trader.xyz, and it's a way that you can trade NFTs. Now, before you trash me for talking about NFTs, the reason I'm talking about this is because if you use Hedron to stake your HEX, you can create a HSI, which is a HEX stake instance, and then tokenize that, turn that into an NFT. What this Trader.xyz allows you to do, theoretically, is sell that NFT to another person, directly to another person, without any commission fees. Like OpenSea, if you were to sell an NFT or buy an NFT, there's like a commission. There's like a 2-point-something% commission. Whereas with this one, there's like it's basically no fees. It's just the fee, like the transaction fees or whatever, to do it. But I haven't used it.
So Trader Joe is like an avalanche exchange.
No, not the same.
No, it's called Trader.xyz.
Oh, so it's for Ethereum chain stuff.
Yep.
Oh.
But do your own research. I'm just bringing it up because I thought that, like, just think about the potential. Like, if you need to transfer HEX from one entity to another, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept, you know.
Also, Hex Market has launched hexmarket.com, so they'll be selling NFTs, and they'll soon be having staking Hedron there as well. But if there's another market which is free of any commission, that's a bit of competition.
It's not Trader Joe's. Sorry, I'm just
It's good that it's good that Blue Bum actually raised that by accident, because the Trader Joe website also has XYZ in it. It's traderjoexyz.com. So this is not that. This is not the AVAX DEX. This is a Ethereum trading platform for NFTs.
And what's the
thing is
URL?
that
So the thing to
no
highlight
fee.
here, the thing that Day 43 is highlighting here is that it's feeless,
Is this
which makes
show so boring, Sammy?
sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sammy, you're yawning there. I heard you to just having a yawn, Sammy.
Yeah, I've been at work. I got up at 6 o'clock this
Imagine what the
morning.
audience.
I've
Had a
been
big
working
day.
a 10-hour day in the city. No, and I'm just catching up on some social media while I'm listening. Is that all
Oh yeah,
right?
texting old. How's old Richie going? How's Mr. Hart
He
going?
said he's good. He just sent me a dick pic, and it's
Did he
huge.
really?
Bigger than a Coke
devil.
can.
What a devil!
Wider than a toilet roll. You want to
Oh,
look? No,
really?
I won't show you.
Well, he sent your
Bios
dick pic
only.
with his dick
Yeah, of
going to a
course.
toilet roll. Did he really?
Sammy's obviously joking for anyone who doesn't understand.
I'm not so sure.
Jokes.
Her and Richard, they're a bit like, they're tight.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
All right, let the adults talk now. Sorry.
So I just thought that NFT thing though. Anyway,
yeah, keen.
we can move on.
So
I just
yeah,
thought
so
what about Hedron? Bluey, he's still bullish on Hedron, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was going to be like a long-term thing. Like I was thinking 2 or 3 years would be the earliest that something would happen in it. And everyone's kind of like down about the price of Hedron, but I thought this is what it was going to do. It's like everyone's got stacks of it at the moment, and so people are dumping it, and so you're getting a pretty low price. If you like, I mean, before it launched, we thought 5 to 10% of all total stakes would claim the bonus. It ended up being like 70 or 80% or something of stakes claimed or minted. So I think it's been a success. In terms of price, I think now's the time when you want to buy in.
Do you think that was a good move to make such a big deal about the 10x bonus, like at the start, or maybe it would have been better just to keep that on the down low, so that only the people who were actually interested in doing the research would have got that bonus?
Look, that thought did cross my mind, but in the end, I thought, no, we can all win. Like, and you need people to be into the project and staked in it in some way.
Yeah,
so
I think you want to promote. I think you want to promote as many positives as possible. Yeah, that people can benefit from.
Why keep stuff quiet?
Isn't it?
Say it again.
Money in the bank at your peril. Put your money into crypto.
Yeah. Agreed.
Did you see interest rates went up today, fellas?
I did not.
It's a record since the highest rate since it's for 20 years. So they went up
20 years.
In 20 years, the biggest raise, like 0.35.
0.35, was it?
Oh,
well, it is the first Tuesday of the month, isn't
it? But it's a warning. They're going to get worse and worse and worse. Like, they're going to just absolutely go crazy. And they're warning people to be really careful.
I saw a pod. I saw a pod that said that if they actually want to get out in front of it, they need to actually go more aggressive than what they announce, like as in that what is being like in the rumor mill of what the rate hike is going to be. Let people think let people think it's going to be a certain amount, and then they have to do that and a little bit more, so that it shows people that they're actually serious about it. But they will bitch, they will roll, like they can't really put interest rates up aggressively, adequately.
I mean, it's because inflation's running away, so they got to chuck up interest rates so that just stops that. But it doesn't stop it; it sort of slows it down, I suppose. But the thing is that you make it harder for people to get access to money, and that stops economic growth. And that's what you really want.
And that's what the model is,
And so does closing the borders of every country, blocking tourism and doing what they're doing now. They,
they're complete.
Making people vaccinated.
All the people that are watching, the informed ones, should get on a boat and come to Australia because it's the best place.
It is the best
Guys,
place.
so I won't say whose stream it was because it was a Bitcoiner that people don't like within this community, but he had a guy on who was actually looking at metrics to do with the monetary policy in the US, and it showed that even though it has ticked up in terms of it has become tighter, if you look at the plot, it's still looser than in the dot-com boom. So there has been a relative tightening locally that is actually still like if you look at it within a historical context, their monetary policy is still loose as fuck, like loose as it's ever been, apart, like excluding just recently. So there's a counterintuitive aspect of this that it sounds and seems, so the broad narrative that's being put out there publicly is not actually in matching what it is in a historical context.
But you know what? Like, we are so lucky to be in crypto. I mean,
Yes.
Can anyone here guess off the top of their head the total US debt that they're in?
It's like in the trillions.
100 trillion.
Less.
Oh, sorry.
90 trillion.
Sorry. I was thinking of
60 trillion or
I
80
was thinking of like M2 money supply.
Less. Third
There's a
guess.
documentary called was it The History of Money?
This doesn't count all the black budgets though, does it?
This is a total debt. This is a total debt for the USA. How much is it? One more guess, and then I'm telling the
This is the debt, not the expenditure, guys. The debt, not the expenditure.
The total debt. How much is it for the USA? Come on. $26.7 trillion. How can any entity in the whole entire universe get out of that much debt?
Yeah, cannot.
And how much is Australia's total debt?
Well, you can if the coin goes to zero. Like if you're 26 trillion in debt, but 26 trillion is worth about $1.
Inflate, if you just hyperinflate the currency until that debt is worthless.
Correct. But then who gets screwed? So it's just one.
Everybody gets screwed. Everybody gets screwed except for HEX holders. HEX users not affected.
Pretty much.
And how much debt? How much total debt has Australia?
Gold bugs might do okay.
How much total debt has Australia got?
What the dip?
What are you asking, Sammy? Hang on.
Guys, listen. We have to stop talking over each other. It's a terrible thing to have to listen to. Go on, Sammy.
Okay. How much total debt has Australia got, guys?
1 trillion.
4 trillion.
Less.
No. It's not in the trillions. It would be in the
No,
billions.
it's not in the
It's
trillions.
just below a trillion.
600 billion.
More.
Like maybe in the tens of billions.
Like numbers.
No, it's $834 billion.
Holy fuck.
At least it's not a trillion. We'll never get round to it.
Yeah, I guess. Dude,
about
that's completely fucked.
Tangent. You know how we had that election about 10 years ago where they were screaming about budget deficit disasters? The better economic managers managed to double that before COVID, and it's nearly tripled now.
True. They went. Every government went. Every government went.
The one is a compound interest.
Good point, JFK. Yeah, I saw someone tweet, "We're governed by cruel idiots," and I was like, "That is actually accurate."
Yeah, psychopathic idiots.
They are retarded and they are not compassionate. We are governed by cruel idiots. I was like, that is actually accurate. It wouldn't have been my choice of words, but it's fucking accurate.
I don't know if I'd say cruel. I'd say insecure, psychopathic.
Just non-compassionate. I think I took the word cruel to mean non-compassionate, like non-compassionate idiots.
Well,
what's fun? Political psychology.
Shit, I can't.
Give yourself some compassion.
Give yourself some compassion. Is so much money.
Because it's a mean old business world, isn't it? But anyway,
it depends how you spent that trillion. Like it would be fine if we were in debt $1 trillion if they were doing things like building up our country so that we were self-sufficient, so that we had industry that we could add value to things. But they don't do that.
Rather than stimmy checks and freaking
Watergate
bribes.
Like, Just sell our
rotating
resources.
doors,
Just dig it up and sell it.
rotating doors, of course, which is it's not illegal as such per se, but it is a step towards corruption, isn't it? At a government level, I'm not making any. Like there's just so many laws that we have to interpret, and a lot of them are open to interpretation, and so you can get yourself a good silver-tongued, shiny lizard, lawyer to say one thing and present this, and then you can get another one who's just as good and done just as much book learning to say the other thing. So to say that's left and that's right, and they could argue that till the cows come home and not get anywhere. But as long as they're getting paid, they don't care. So I don't know.
I call it the Richard Hart effect. If you are good at framing, then you can literally just win any argument, even if you're not right.
That's right. That's what debating is, Tangent. And how are we going?
That's not.
Which is why you want to debate him.
Yo, people are getting vocal on my behalf. People are like tweeting and retweeting, being like, "When debate?" Like, I think eventually Richard will succumb to social pressure to have.
When
this
you
debate.
have 500,000 followers.
Oh yes.
No, it's not about follow count.
No.
Like, as in.
I think you've got more chance of having a twerk off with Richard than actually having a
My
debate.
money's on Tangent.
In the short term, at least.
Deep down inside, he's a
do that
nice
too.
bloke. Yeah.
But I would have one of those. What's that called in medieval times, where you choose your fighter and they fight on your behalf? I would just get like one of my hot as fuck friends with like a massive booty, and she would be like my fighter.
Mate, he'd be on the stream.
By fight on my behalf by proxy.
Your champion.
He'd be hooking up.
My champion. Thank you, JFK. Yep. Thank you, JFK. Yeah, I would have a champion.
Yep. That's right. And
how many followers you got on your YouTube, Tangent?
Me? Like 2K.
Oh yeah, but you got heaps on Twitter. You're like nearly.
I think I'm nearly 5K on Twitter, 2K on YouTube, another like 3.5 on Insta, I think. And obviously there'd be a little bit of overlap, but not heaps, because I actually didn't tell my crypto friends about my Insta until very recently. So not huge overlap. So I mean, like, eventually I'm going to have probably over 10K followers, but I don't think Richard cares about that. Like, as in,
not if you're a Hexagon, you won't. But you know who does Richard's PR if you want to contact him? Hexologist. Hexologist organizes all his thumbnails, all his meetings. So go through Hexo if you want to get to him.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll message him. Like, I'll message him politely and just be like, yo, like,
give me a debate with Richard.
Hexo first.
Yo, why is Richard scared to debate me, man? Like, no, I'm just kidding. But no, that's a great tip, Sammy. I'll hit him up.
Sweet.
I'm just going to put the Hex Late Show channel in the chat. If you guys can go and sub to it, that would be great.
Shit, yeah.
Did you get my Hexagon of the Week entry?
Oh, I gave it to myself last week, Sammy.
When we get into the categories,
yeah, I saw. I was in chat.
Segments, because we're moving into time. So let's get it on, shall we? Let's see if I can press the.
Can you even show my Hexagon of the Week, because it's something pretty special?
Here we go. This one.
Lots of plum trees, a sheep, a tuick, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
That's a knife. All I had was me undies on.
So the awesome Hexagon for this week is one of our favorite viewers and also a new Hex streamer, really smart lady from Perth. Her name's Klaz, and she's an artist, as well as many other talented things. And she done an awesome painting of Richard Hart that I am trying to find. You can't put it up. Can I put it up? I'm gonna have to show it. Can you see?
We'll get it up.
I saw it on Twitter. It's really good.
Get it up.
Yeah,
isn't it awesome?
It's actually amazing. It's a really
yeah. Try and put it up.
This is that night, day 43.
Really, really clever. She's an amazing artist, as well as being super smart, and a mum,
Legend.
And a doctor.
and a
Really?
doctor.
Oh, yeah,
Really,
good
that's
point.
smart.
Yeah.
And I'm not doxing her, but like
Multi-talented.
She's like put that out there. She's like tweeted about it.
Another Western Australian talent.
I was actually meant to go on her stream.
You deserve it, Claz.
late last week.
Congratulations, Claz.
I didn't make it, but we'll do it at some point. Yeah, I agree. Good pick, Sammy.
We're going to get it up.
She's is she the loving wife of Par Excellence as well? Isn't that great? Well, that's awesome. Welcome to the Hexagon Legend of the Week. There you go. Thank you, Richard.
What's your Twitter handle? Can you pop that in the chat? And guys, can you go follow Claz? She's got a
YouTube channel, and pop your YouTube channel in there.
What's the YouTube channel called?
Or isn't it cryptos? It's like
that's right.
Tic Tac crypto. Tic Tac crypto.
Yeah. So it really does help. I mean, everyone who is involved in the hex.com crypto, the triple audited security, the 100% uptime, probably the blue chip of the light on the shining light on the hill for mine anyway, helps everyone in the community if you go and like and subscribe and give Twitter follows and retweets and all that sort of algorithmic stuff. And do as I say, not as I do, because I'm not always on the computer. I like to. I've been doing flaps today. So anyway.
Unwrecked. When you think about the amount of stuff that Hex community members have done, the amount of wrapped vehicles, the amount of sticker bombing, the amount of YouTube channels, the amount of merchandise that people have bought, sold, and wear, the effort that the community has gone to outwardly display their passion about this coin makes it another one of those ones where it's just difficult to believe it going down like this, in price.
Yeah, I couldn't think it.
I'm just like,
I couldn't have predicted it. Yeah, I didn't think it would go past. I couldn't see it going past 30 cents or something. Hey, but you know what? I think, and Richard Hart called this early on in the Hex journey. Of course, it's a journey. He was saying that it solves the thing that for Bitcoin, the tragedy of the commons. I don't know if anyone do you remember that one tangent have you watched the Richard Hart videos about tragedy of the commons and when he explained what
that no single entity is financially incentivized to take positive action
for the good of everyone. You know what I mean?
For the good of everyone, because individually you don't benefit enough from it. Right. Well, I guess Hexagons broke that theory, didn't they?
Well, that's what Hex solved. That was one of the things that Hex solved for Bitcoin. So now we're seeing this, this undercurrent or virility that's sort of slowly forming, and people are prepared to put their own money where their mouth is, and that's what we're seeing. It's websites.
I believe he was using that as a justification / reasoning for why you need to have one entity holding almost all the coins. And so in that sense, that theory is then broken by the fact that, while it is amazing that Hexagons did go and do all this stuff with no direct financial benefit to themselves, it does actually break the theory that you need this benevolent whale holding all the coins to be financially incentivized to do the work, to do the advertising, particularly when that's the only entity that's not doing shit. I don't mean that.
Seen it act.
I don't mean that literally. I mean,
I've heard a lot of description and talk about the OA, and one of the things that resonates with me about that, and I think it was probably one of the early videos, and it was actually RG3 who sort of said it acts almost like a ballast on a ship. It just self auto corrects, and what it does is if you're a staker, It's kind of like gives you like you can just relax and chill, and that's the way I see it. But like,
yeah.
There's lots of different opinion and views on that, and the market is the
by
market.
the way, just to clarify on what I was saying, not selling is enough. Like it could be worse. So for anyone
also not staking most of it,
yes, as well, yeah.
That is also a big deal, because that means that those that do stake are getting all of the inflation in the system.
Yeah, the system inflation. But isn't it amazing that we've got in real time these advanced mathematical calculations being happening in a decentralized network? The technology is a game changer. This can change the world. This can move. This can bring people out of abject poverty, prevent governments, corrupt governments, and things like this deciding to print money that you voted for them, so that they could so they can buy weapons and go to war or whatever. They can't do that now. It's giving the power back to people. It's taking it.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be more so when PulseChain launches, because the hurdle that we've come into in the last year and a half is just the gas. The cost of transacting on the Ethereum network is so high, it's so costly, that it's prohibitive for new people to. Yeah. So one of the things that it was a big deal in the early days is people used to do micro staking strategies. So people used to have just
tragic, man, tragic.
100 hex stakes, right? Because
so basically they've just burnt. They just lost all that. It used
to cost so little to do a stake. It used to cost
cents, less than cents, less than a cent. Yeah.
A stake. But those 100 hex stakes, I mean, you just can't.
You can't unstake them.
That was another example of gatekeeping.
It costs more to end it. It costs more to end it than what is the value of the hex inside the stake. So you basically just lose your money.
So on PulseChain, those stakes are going to be active again for the ones that haven't expired.
But some of them will have bled out. I know that happened to me. I've got several, not heaps, but I've got some that
it takes 2 years to bleed out.
Oh, okay, good point. So on Pulse, we'll be able to recover some of the hex out of those lost stakes. That's good.
Yeah. So they're going to be active again.
That's dope.
On the Pulse side.
I'd make the point too that with Ethereum, that was a techno-bureaucratic form of gatekeeping. When they adjusted all the S-load fees, they went up 12 plus times. And that affected HEX more than anything else. And that led to what you guys are discussing. And that was a decision that was made by Vitalik and his crew. And it was basically technocratic and bureaucratic gatekeeping.
But
whether it was intended for HEX, that was the effect.
You would be assuming that he even was aware of HEX at the time.
I'm sure he was.
Well, there's a lot of projects built on top of Ethereum, so he might not be keeping up to date with all of them in terms of.
HEX wasn't the only one affected. But Decentraland and those sorts of coins that were heavy on S-load.
But for the claim of it specifically being gatekeeping against HEX, he would have had to have even been aware that HEX existed, and it's plausible that he didn't, because. Especially if he bought into this narrative of it being a scam, he wouldn't have even looked at it. If he'd heard people that he respects being like, that's a scam project, he's not going to do a deep dive on how a scam works. He would just be like, oh, it's a scam. So I mean,
no, he wouldn't have been thinking scam.
I always try to assume the best possible intentions of other human beings. So in this case, since we don't have proof that it was a direct attack against HEX, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that it was not directly aimed at us. But it is possible. Either's possible. Either's possible.
Come on. Get some titties going.
Tangent. 2 points. One, I'm sure he was aware of the highest appreciating asset in 2020. And I'm sure that the S-load decision he would have been well aware of how that was going to affect Hex.
But had Hex gone on its big pump, yeah, it was the time. It was was the timing? What is going on?
Sorry.
Unwrecked.
Apologies.
Unwrecked.
What are you doing?
I'm just pulling a China shop. I pressed the button twice because of the lag. I didn't mean to. Sorry to interrupt you with this conversation.
Your computer lags. Does your computer lag, Unwrecked? I had no idea, bro.
A little bit.
Does the computer operator lag a bit there, Unwrecked?
I don't
know if anyone's ever noticed. Unwrecked computer.
Let's get on to it.
Unwrecked computer just is the most laggy. No matter what computer he's using, it could be like whatever he could buy a new
as soon as he starts using it
and be on an Apple Mac, like the most powerful thing. The shit would still lag.
It's my sheer awesome power. You keep back chatting me like that, boy. See that? See, didn't Einstein split the atom? Didn't Einstein split the atom, Bluey? Your favourite bloke? Look at that. Look at this. Sorry. I don't know. Jex is not here, so we don't have to. How do we have access the bitch tits of the week?
Well, I'm not bitch tits because I guess 6.5 cents.
We can't do bitch tits of the week when Jex is not here.
That's serious.
We're incompetent.
Google Forms is too hard to work out.
Yeah, it's not really incompetence. It's more just can't be fucked. Like,
yeah. It's definitely on the I can't be fucked.
Oh no, you're showing our incompetence. We need someone with a brain to make the show come together.
I'm going to put all the blame on you since you're running the show. Unwrecked. You should have known that we're all unable or unwilling to bring up that spreadsheet.
I'm used to being blamed for everything. That's fine.
It's just easier
if
you take the blame for everything.
You can
just channel Richard Hart, man. Just channel him.
Can someone please channel Richard Hart?
Next thing you know, Unwrecked's going to be twerking on screen, mate.
No, I'm not.
And employing devs to do bitch tits.
Excuse me. What are we doing? We're having a serious conversation on the internet, or are we just playing tiddlywinks?
What are you doing? Putting face cream
moisturising.
But it's just like we're doing like Pete Evans' nectar on the face, yeah. And I'm like, I pull a little magic trick out like this. Ready? Put that over the camera like this. Connect with it. Ready for it?
Oh my!
Why did I know that was going to happen?
Guys,
you knew that was going to happen. That's impressive.
Yeah, I had a very good idea.
Can I just say something super controversial?
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
OMG.
I don't think the current season of South Park is as good as it could be.
Oh, bullshit.
I haven't seen it, so I can't pass comment.
I haven't seen South Park for years.
Come on. We just said this is a variety channel. It is a variety. We do spin off the track occasionally, and we like to have a little bit of fun, don't we?
And Tangent's just the South Park maxi.
Serious next talk. Go to
he really doesn't understand that he needs to be a Simpsons maxi.
Yeah,
we don't have maxis. We don't have maxis in TV shows. You've never been out being like, "Oh, my favorite TV show is Breaking Bad," and someone being like, "Bullshit."
Breaking Bad's a scam.
Can you believe that fans contact the creators of TV shows, movies, video games, and complain about like endings and character development and plot lines and shit? Bro, shut the fuck up. Like what? Are you kidding me? Like this is someone's artistic creation. You go in an art gallery and be like, oh no, I'm just going to touch this up, Picasso. Like, what the fuck? Get out of here. That is crazy.
They can come up with good ideas though as well.
I mean, I'm all for like fanfic and stuff, like where people want to like go and do their own like fork, basically like the crypto equivalent. You fork the code. If you're not happy, fork the code. Don't complain. Fork the code.
Yeah, but that's the new age of fame with social media, and we discussed this on Ladies Discourse. Like, it's too easy for people to be able to get to creators and get to artists. It's like I read a whole thing about bullying, and how artists think, you know, every time they go out and show, oh, they do a great show, and now they got to put up with as much hate mail as they get as love mail. It's ridiculous.
That's a really good point.
It's a bit of a science experiment, isn't it? Social science experiment.
Well, that's what Richard puts up with. I think he lets people get far too close to him on social media, and some of those comments are absolutely awful, and he shouldn't read them for his own self-confidence and, you know, his self-esteem. No one should. Everyone here, if you're getting hate
I don't
from
think
anyone,
Richard's lacking in self-confidence.
He has had to put up with. He has had to put up with a lot. He has had to put up with a lot.
Yeah.
And especially
anyone. Don't read them.
And especially with the recent combination of PulseChain delays plus HEX price down, those two things, he's even got a fair portion of his own community turning against him. Like it would be horrific. Yeah, it would be pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not nice.
It's not nice.
And but yeah, anyone should ignore those comments. There's productive comments and there's feedback, and you got to make the decision what it is, and don't read crap like that because it can get you down, and it shouldn't. I mean, just don't pay any attention to it. And Richard shouldn't either.
I saw someone suggested to him to try and win the affection of the fishing, hunting, gaming community and gun communities. And he replied with like a Batman meme where the Batman is like doing the consideration pose. And so, you know what I mean? Like he could go the Dan Bilzerian, start just like firing weapons and killing shit and like going fishing, going on boats and stuff.
Do you know what one's going to work the best? If
What's
he
that?
just goes the full
Nerd.
like fitness, the full fitness, and gets like just turns from the fat fuck into the like the rip.
Oh yeah, hero's journey.
Bro,
well, he can afford, dude. He could afford the best
you,
trainers and nutritionists in the world. He could have a team of people whose entire full-time job is getting him to peak physical performance and just pay them whatever it takes. It would be so easy, man. It would be so easy. Personal chefs, the best drugs, like the best like legal drugs or whatever the fuck. Like you'd have doctors monitoring your health.
But that's why you have the dark web. Come on.
Just have a team of health professionals just looking after your shit.
You can get whatever you want delivered.
It'd probably get more attention. It'd probably get more attention going the opposite way, actually. Like if he just went full and let it go and just did anything he wanted, full Gordo and
doing
those eating challenges. He should do those eating challenges where he's got to eat like a burger that's the size of the room. And he's just like, I'm gonna literally try to become the hugest person, just the fattest fuck that exists.
He doesn't want that.
And
read his self-help books. He does not want that. He knows what to do. Day 43 nailed it. I agree, mate.
I'd have a team. Dude, I'd have a team. I'd have multiple private chefs.
Yeah,
what's his name? Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, do you know what I think?
Like the NFT doll. He should look like the NFT doll of himself. You know the doll.
That's the goal.
He looks like the guy. So he looks like that guy. He's like got muscles on his eyebrows. I'm gonna knock you out.
Tangent.
Jakey Lund.
Do you know what I think would be the most effective? Do you know what I think would be more effective than all the health professionals that I just listed? I would hire the hottest girls to like motivate me by being like, if you go and hit the gym right now, you're going to look so fucking hot, man. And you just be like, right, going to the gym again. Like I would be like, don't be a life coach, but just motivate me with like, just with how
get
hot
it to
you
spot
are.
you on the bench
He says
press.
he likes the best exercise is fucking, so why not?
Hey,
should be-
can
yeah,
I add?
He should become
can
a
I
porn
add-
king, like a porn superstar. That'd get a bit of
don't
attention.
film it. Why-
Yeah.
You used to.
Don't do that.
You
It's
used to
been
work
done.
in the
That's too
sex
old.
industry.
Done.
Can I just say something, right? And also, like
Thanks for
one
the
of my
super chat.
girlfriends, she takes weight loss injections, right? And you get like I think once a month. I mean, they're not expensive at all. They're like
Yikes.
100, $150, right? And she's lost a lot of weight from these injections. Like, they're
But
pretty
is
damn
it
good.
safe?
Well, she was vomiting a little bit and had to go off them. But that's what I'm saying.
Bulimia
Like,
injections.
any surgery or injections or anything, Richard Hart has got it made. Like, they could basically come to his doorstep and lay it on whatever he requires in that
What
department.
do they inject you with?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he should just get on
But
the
it makes-
treadmill, man.
it makes
Like,
you
Yeah,
feel
I'm
full.
with 43
I don't
on
want-
this. I think.
Yeah, but
I
we're
think-
I don't think he should
smart.
be injecting himself
No,
with
no.
any, like.
Just do a bit old-fashioned roll your sleeves up and get stuck in.
What about a
Alternative
bicycle
days,
tour of
like,
I'm
Europe?
just worried about all of you
And
guys.
then
Peptides here and there might, you know,
Nice.
a few.
If all you guys want to do is turn Richard into such a stick figure that Vitalik would beat him up.
No, you want to be alpha.
fisticuffs, I mean,
No,
he's
we're
just
not talking about
become,
being thin. We're talking about being jacked.
You got to engineer the
Yeah.
alpha. You don't just get it. Don't just get it unless you've got some. Sometimes it's a little bit genetics. I mean, he's already blessed with intelligence, so there's no reason why. And he knows what he knows the ins and outs. You know, if you want to engineer the alpha, you got to it's like go back to sort of ancient times of how the gladiators would enter the. 2 men enter,
Also-
1 man leave. You got to get strong.
Yeah. If you don't learn the discipline that it takes to actually achieve that goal, then you are going to be relying on the cheap method for the rest of your life, because you're never developing. You're not improving your diet. You're not getting building the habits of exercise and shit like that. So doing it the healthy way is actually way better. It's more satisfying. It's better habit forming. It's more, longer lasting. It's just like
Kids.
Hey, tangent.
obviously
At least 40. Yeah.
I think Brizolgi disagrees with you. He said, if you want to lose weight, be an adult and develop a coke problem.
I know how fun.
You know, we are
Christology
we're
is.
actually breaking, we're breaking the first commandment of HEX, which is thou shalt not have expectations of others.
Yeah, that's right.
That is,
Yeah, we're
that
all
is
going to
the
be
first
life
commandment.
coaches now, aren't we?
Do you know what the second commandment is of HEX?
Please tell.
Thou shalt not have expectations of others.
That's
I thought that
right.
was the
Simple as
first.
that, man.
Begin to
We
speak
can't have
when you're
expectations.
certain.
We have to expect. We should.
Hang on,
we
what's the
should
difference
just.
between the
and-
first and the second?
No, it's just.
It
it's just-
wasn't.
Rule number one.
it's a
Oh,
fuck
okay,
up,
right.
man.
Rule number one, don't lose money.
Right.
Rule number
Can
two,
we-
see rule number one.
can we make number 2 shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Everybody's so, you guys are so bougie tonight. What the hell's going on with you lot?
So what?
Bougie.
Are you jealous,
love-
Sammy?
I would love
No.
commandment 2 to be shut the
I
fuck up.
started at lunchtime today, having a boozy lunch, as you do.
No, I called
So,
you bougie.
Bougie means like you're eating out at a high class restaurant or something.
Oh,
like
bougie.
means
I
like
thought you
you're,
said
you're
bougie.
posh,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
bougie is like fancy. Yeah.
Yeah, bougie's fancy. You're all a bit fancy
Oh.
tonight. What the hell is this wrong
Nah.
with you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all sinners on the Hex Late Show when it
Wait,
comes
Hey,
to.
look,
third
I
commandment.
made a cigar box guitar. That's why. I made it myself. Louis, you've been quiet and it's not like you.
Yeah.
Say something smart so that I don't look like an idiot, please.
That's a tricky proposition, mate.
And you've frozen again, unwrecked.
Yeah, right.
He's done. Not back.
Anyway,
He's got one frame.
good to
in
see.
it.
So, hey JFK, you coming to PulseCon?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I might be going to Thailand to get a bit of dental work done.
Oh,
That's what I
nice.
might be doing.
Tender.
Yeah, I had to get it. Oh God, I don't really want to discuss it. So
Ah.
I had to go to an endodontist and get a root canal done, and I've got to get a new crown. Well, yeah, so it's
I got told
probably
that I got
cost me
told
as
that
much in-
Thailand. I got told that
cost
Thailand
me
has
as
like
much in Australia as it would going to Thailand having a week there, getting it done.
Mm.
And the best dentist I've ever had.
And they've got world-class medical facilities.
Yep.
So
Really
I
great.
had a work friend of mine retired in, like a mentor of mine retired in Thailand. And he was like, bro, the hospitals here smoke Australian hospitals.
Yep.
Like smoke them. It's like
He's the best
modern, clean,
the best dentist I've ever had.
like ridiculous, like all the latest equipment, highly professional, world-class level doctors that like get imported from all around the world and shit. So the doctors there, like there's local doctors and expat doctors, and it's just like it's really good. I would have never thought that. I would have been like, I'm not going to Thailand for a medical procedure. Are you kidding me? Because when you're holidaying there, it's like you're out in the dirty streets and shit. But the hospitals there apparently like
but the medical profession here actually do their best to scare you away from it.
Yes.
And
So especially with like boob jobs and stuff like that.
Let's go.
I went
It's
was
Friday
over 10
together.
years ago.
Well, they're financially incentivized to encourage people to not do that. So they try and pitch those horror stories of like someone having a botched boob job. But obviously, you still need to do you get what you pay for. You don't go over there and go to like a backyard veterinary clinic and get them to do your like boob job.
Bummer.
So you still, do you know what I mean? Like, as in, it still matters, but I think there's a lot of scare tactics in the Australian medical industry, and especially the cosmetic medical industry in Australia, where they try and scare people not to go overseas.
All of the dental things. And I went there. Okay, get this. This was 10 years ago. I got a false tooth. I got 3 fillings, and I got my teeth whitened, and it was $300.
Fuck.
Wow.
And then
how much
because
for
the false tooth that I got was so good, and their dental technician was so good, I went back and got 2 tooth bridge, a 3 tooth bridge, and a crown, and my teeth laser whitened, and it cost me less than $2,000.
Can they give Richard Hart a penis reduction so that we don't have to hear any more about his pee-pee? Is that a procedure that they are willing to do? That's all I want to know.
Not experienced in this matter.
Ask when you get there, please.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Well, I am experienced in this matter, so let me speak to that for 1 second.
Day 43 has had several. Day 43 has had to have several.
I think Day 43
reductions.
is confused with the extra penises that might exist that you're not actually expecting in parts of Thailand. Doc, I'm sorry. The girls are saying it's still too big. You're going to need to do another reduction.
Let 43 speak. What did you going to say? 43? What are you going to say?
No, I was just joking.
Oh, righto.
That's it.
Oh, of course.
Can I say I wouldn't be going to Thailand to get a boob job? I don't care what anyone says. I'm sorry, but I've seen and heard too many bad things about going to Thailand and flunky boob jobs. I'd be getting one in Australia. Sorry, guys. That's just my take on it.
Can you play midget boxing over there? You have midget boxing? You know?
No, why do you like midgets?
You get down on your knees and give me a couple of blows.
Hey, do you know I'm matched with a midget on internet dating?
Oh yeah, so how you going? How's your date? How's your dating life? How's your love life going, Sammy? Now you're smiling again.
To be honest, no, it's just internet dating is just like Dick Central. To be honest, like
what?
Oh yeah, so
and your problem is
it's all dick pics and vaginas.
What?
Yeah, it's just Dick Central. Like that's all it is. It's nothing. But the exciting thing was that I did match with a midget. So that was a bit of an experience. But he was cute little guy.
Did you meet him?
Hang on.
No, I didn't date him. Oh. I just saw, it was one of the people in my. Yeah. I matched with.
So people just like post a picture of their face and then their dick. Is that what?
No, so they post a picture of their face, right, and then like they might message you if you match. You got to match. So you got to like each other on some of them, and then
they DM the dick,
and then you DM.
And then it's basically. 1,000 to 0. See, Unregged Pirate knows just 1,000 to 0. Hey, you want to see my dick? Hey, you know, and then you wake
girls don't
up.
like it, guys. Girls don't
and it's
like
in your
it.
face.
It's like if you say to a girl, "Hey, suck my dick," she might say to you, "No, you suck mine first." Like, don't do it. Like, get over your. Like, why do guys?
Hey, Sammy,
do
what
that?
do you mean by 1,000 to 0?
0 to 0.
Like, you know, like they'll say, "Hi, how are you?" and what do what do you like doing, and where you from? Then it's
The
like
chase.
bang,
Yeah,
whip
cut
it
the
out.
chase.
Right.
Yeah, it's really like that. Like,
Wow.
I'm really surprised at how much it is like that. Like, unless you do
Yeah.
internet dating, you would not know.
Not
But
nice.
99% of them all do that.
Where has chivalry gone? Come on.
I know.
You
I
know?
know.
I miss
So,
my teddy
my
bear, you know.
advice, any guy, like, you know, meet someone, talk to them, get to know their personality before you whip it out.
Crack on.
And, you know, whip it out for a reason, because she might not be worth whipping it out for.
Righto. We're getting the wine up.
Sammy, from a male perspective, if
let's
the
get back on track.
tables were turned and it was the other way around, we'd be very happy. We'd be happy with that.
Oh,
I know you would.
why?
We would.
Get
I
vagina
have a
pics.
teddy bear. And a woman sleeping beside me. I'm staying single. I'm not making friends with women. I'm just fucking them. All right, let's go.
Right, let's go.
I think we've. I think that's like. I think that's a bit of a. I don't know how we segue out of this.
I just want to make it very clear that Unrect is the host tonight, not me.
Righto, then.
That was the
That's
sign out.
amazing
That
that
was
it-
the sign out for everyone. We don't need to do individual sign outs. That was
It's
like
amazing that it took 2
the
hours to
mic
get to
drop.
this point.
That was the mic drop for all of us. Boom.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
mic
we can
drop.
wind it up, I think,
Well,
unless
really
someone has
let's
something
do-
interesting to
You buy
say.
Let's
hex
do sign outs.
and you stake it, and you burn your hex. In return, you get a T-share, and then you put a smart contract in on the blockchain. And at the end of the time served, the time deposit, you then mint your rewards. You trade your T-shares back into hex, and you mint your rewards, and you get more hex every day that goes by. And there's revenue streams within that. Obviously, the daily inflation and the penalties, a percentage of that, based on your T-share. So it's a synthetic compounding interest mechanism. So longer pays better, bigger pays better. You know, we'll wind it up. Thanks, Day 43. Thanks everyone in the chat. It's been a really. I think we've.
Can I say one last thing
value out of it.
before we wind up?
Yep.
Mm.
Can I say one last thing before we wind it up?
Yes, mate.
Currently, one T-share costs $1,285, but if you stake it out for 10 years, it's a third of that. So whatever that is, it's about $430 odd dollars for a. Is that right? Yeah, $430 for a T-share if it's staked out long term.
Is that US dollars?
3641 days. Yep.
Yeah, US.
3641 days. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
but up
That's
to
really
another
good.
15.
Mm.
And that's US dollars, of course. I always talk in US dollars. Yeah, so I think that's worth putting out there because it hasn't been that cheap to get, like in dollar terms, to get a T-share for a long time.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
And I didn't think we'd be going to this level.
Sorry.
Tangent. I did not think we were going this low. I really didn't. I thought that the days of 5-cent hex were well and truly gone. But I'm happy to be proven wrong, and that's just it. You know, like
DCA opportunity.
None of us are infallible.
No. Massive shout out to the people in the chat. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. We love how much you guys interact with us during the stream. It's a lot of fun. We like to have a bit of fun on the stream. Shout out to Unrect, mate. Thanks for hosting. Keep it up, mate. I like it when you host.
Oh, I'll keep showing up. We'll see. I've had a few dramas, but everyone's got a sob story. I won't share mine with you on the internet. But yeah, hey, look, maybe we should go back to the way we used to do it and bring guests in from the community. I mean,
actually, I've got a guest lined up. I'm lining up a guest for next week.
Oh, great. Well, Bluey's
got a guest
got
coming on
a
next week.
really good, sharp eye for that. So, Louis, and you've always got some. You're always bringing really good intel into the show and sharing it with the audience because you've just got that I guess the tenacity of actually going in and actually reading and looking into it, and you like the stuff. So that's really helpful. So are you allowed to tell us who the guest is? Who's the guest?
It's the guy from HEX Market.
HEX Market.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. What's HEX Market? Oh yes, okay. Tell us.
We're going to find out next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find out next week.
Right,
Unrect.
All right, guys.
Wait. Unrect. Wait. Unrect just reminded me of a Jordan Peterson quote recently that's very relevant to this whole like Richard blowing all this money on Lambos and Gucci shit. He said, never be envious of another human being because your journey is enough. You don't even realize it, but your journey there's enough going on in your journey that you don't need to think about anyone else's journey. You don't need to get jealous of their shit. You don't know what it is like to be them. So the example he actually gave, I didn't think it was a terribly good example, but he was like, you see some dude driving down the street in a Ferrari with like a hot blonde girl next to him in the car, and you think, man, this guy's got it all. Like, I want to be that guy. He says, especially like young males, they're like, shit, I'm envious. I want to be this guy. And he's like, what that guy doesn't realize from the side of the street is that the girl's a coke addict and she's got some serious like mental health issues that he's having to deal with. He's like scared as shit that she's going to leave him when she finds out how much of a fucking fraud he is, that all his like Lambos and fancy shit is just like a facade for the insecurity and like worthlessness that he feels. Like I'm not applying that to Richard Hart. I'm just saying.
You should never have gotten that penile reduction, man.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Tangent?
The example is just there to as a you don't know what's going on in other people's lives, and so you just like work on your own shit. Like
that's it.
Well, it's impossible to compare as well.
It's impossible to compare. You can't
experiences.
Yep, you're not. When people say, this is something I say to people, I'm like, the saying, don't judge someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You can never walk a mile in their shoes, i.e. never judge anyone. If you extend that saying, you can't walk a mile in their shoes, so then you can't judge them.
You can have a similar experience or something like that, but what you're saying is like everything you see is perception, everything you hear is opinion. So it's if you realize that you have something more powerful and miraculous than the things that affect you and make you dance like a puppet, like if you're trying to be like something that you're not, or you think that's cool, just be yourself and speak from the heart, and you'll be surprised how many doors that opens. I don't always know. Sometimes it's hard to put things into practice. There's a world of difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it, and I mean, like, there we go, whatever cliche number that is, I mean, they're all you get let some of that stuff sink into your marrow, and find out who you are, find out who you really are as a person, and we all make mistakes and none of us are infallible, so it's just make sure you work on yourself before you throw the other. If someone's got like an opinion on you, or saying having a crack at someone else, then just say, well, maybe he didn't know all these other things were wrong with me as well. That's why he said that was wrong with me.
This is fire. I'm
Pull the trigger.
and Tangent. You're spitting fire tonight. I love it. I love your
Thanks,
take
Sammy.
on life. It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, we're having a good time. Why not? Life's too short. Put a smile on. Get out there.
Yeah, but Bluey can't get a word in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. Bluey, I know I am a bit of an annoyance like that. But yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
No. Let's what are we doing? We'll go up to the 2 hour mark and then we'll kick off, or we just like.
Does anyone still need to sign off, or
4,
my
3,
show?
2,
I do what I want.
1.